Hi everyone,
Hi, my name is Aisha.
and my name is Azhar.
So, today we're going to talk about something that seems simple but is actually very important: how to make courses better. Because the reality is that a lot of courses today have good content, but people still don't finish them, don't remember them, or don't apply what they learned. And that's not because people are lazy, it's because the course design is not effective.
So, what we did as part of Get Hurt Academy team is review different courses and identify what actually works and what doesn't. And today, we'll share 10 practical ways to improve courses, things that are easy to apply but make a big difference.
Before we start, I want to ask you something. How do you like to learn? Please drop your answers in the chat box. What about you, Azhar? How do you like to learn?
I like kinesthetic style of learning because for me, it's more important to practice my knowledge than just to gain some information from others.
That's very interesting.
What about you, Aisha? How do you like to learn?
I like to learn by visuals because for me it's important to see the material in front of my eyes. Lakisa is saying that she's also a visual learner. I understand you, Lakisa. And doing. Thank you, Chantel. You combine our types of learnings.
That's nice to see that everyone has different learning styles. We see Kisa said auditory. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your answers. So, one important thing to understand is that people learn differently, as we can see from the answers. Some people prefer visuals, it's diagrams, videos, and others prefer listening. Some prefer reading, and some need to actually do things. So, if a course only uses one format, it automatically loses part of the audience. That's why everything we'll talk about today is really making courses more inclusive, effective for different types of learners. So let's start with something very simple. Real-world examples. A big mistake in many courses is that they stay too theoretical. They explain concepts, definitions, frameworks, but learners don't understand how to use them. And when that happens, people lose interest very quickly. For example, imagine learning marketing. You can explain theory for hours, but if you show how a company improved its campaign, or how a real dashboard looks, or how a decision was made, suddenly everything becomes clearer. Let me ask you, who prefers examples over theory? Please drop a yes in the chat box. Okay, I see some yeses, and that's why it's important to have real world examples, because examples make things easier to understand, easier to remember, and easier to apply. So the key idea here is don't just explain, always connect to real life. Next is step-by-step demonstrations. This is where many courses fail. Um, They say things like create presentation, analyze data, build strategy, but they don't show how. For beginners especially, this is very frustrating because they don't know where to start, what comes first, what a good result looks like. So instead, break everything into simple steps. For example, first choose a template, then structure your content, then design it. And if you show this using tools like Canva step by step, it becomes much easier to follow. So my key idea here is learning should feel guided, not confusing. What are your favorite tools to use, Azhar?
My favorite tools are Canva and Google Docs for my presentations. What about you, Aisha?
My favorite tools to use are PowerPoint and CapCut. Um, I want to ask everyone to write their favorite tools to use in the chat box. I see that Jackie is saying Canva. Wikisa also said Canva. We always use Canva for our presentations because for us it's the most convenient tool to use. Yeah. Thank you, Kisa. Okay. So the third enhancement, it's templates. This is one of the most underrated things. People often don't take action not because they don't understand, but because starting feels difficult. Templates remove the barrier. For example, a content calendar, a presentation outline, a script. Instead of starting from zero, learners just fill in the structure. And this does three things. It saves time, reduces stress, builds confidence. So instead of saying, go do this, you give them a starting point, and that's a huge difference. Do you have any templates that you like to use, Azhar?
I have a template of the calendar that I use for my everyday plan, so I know what things I have to do.
I want to ask you if you have any templates or tools that you love to use. Yeah, I see that Jackie says that Canva offers a lot of templates and Google too. And I agree because I think Canva has a lot of beneficials for making presentations and for choosing the template for your everyday life. Okay. Our next enhancement is multimedia. Let's be honest, long text or long lectures are hard to stay focused on. People lose attention quickly. So adding different formats helps. Adding videos, short clips, quizzes, even audio. For example, instead of explaining something for 10 minutes, you can show a 1 minute video, and often that's more effective. The goal is to keep attention and make learning dynamic. Do you prefer videos, podcasts, or interactive quizzes? Please drop your answer in the chat box. What about you, Azhar? Do you prefer videos, podcasts, or quizzes?
I prefer videos, especially animated videos, because that's how I get to learn things easier, and it's more like a cartoon, not serious way, just for my understanding. What about you, Aisha?
I also love to watch videos, so it would be easier for me to see, because as I mentioned, I love to learn by visuals, and by seeing that, I can apply it to myself afterwards. Okay. I see that Jackie said short videos. I think short videos are also very helpful, especially when you want to gain the knowledge quicker. Thank you. Finally, for my part, collaboration is much stronger when it comes done alone. So learning is very important to do with someone, because when people discuss, share ideas, explain things to each other, they understand much better. For example, group discussions, peer feedback, online forums. This makes the course more interactive and engaging. Learning becomes active, not passive. I want you to answer my question, and it's what type of collaboration do you prefer? Please drop your answers in the chat box. What about you, Azhar? What type of collaboration do you like?
I like group projects. So in my classes, I like working with other people and dividing roles. So that's how we make a great team. As an example, we can provide Get Right Academy. I think everyone is different, but we all make impact to work well all together.
Thank you. Okay, let's see what people say in the chat box. I see that Jackie said that she loves open workshops where people can discuss, you learn from various experiences and cultures. I love your answer, Jackie. I think it's also very cool when people can discuss and explore different cultures and experiences. I also see that Kisa answered my previous question about quizzes, that she loves quizzes to help reinforce her understanding of the material. Yeah, thank you for your answers. So these were the 5 ways focus on clarity, structure, and engagement. Now Azhar will continue with the next 5, which focus more on motivation, improvement, and personalization.
Thank you, Aisha. Now let's talk about gamification. What gamification means is adding game-like elements to learning. For example, points, badges, challenges, um, and completion certificate and discount on advanced courses. Why does this work? Because people like progress, even small things, like completing a task, earning a badge. It makes course more engaging because it feels like a game and more motivating. It turns learning into something more engaging and rewarding. So, out of 5 things that are listed on the slide, what's your favorite? What do you like? Please drop your answer in the chat box. Aisha, what do you like? Do you like gaining points and progress tracking, or do you like challenges and mini tasks?
I like certificates because one example I can take from my life, it was when I was learning English in the learning center, and by the ways that you move from one level to another level, they give you the certificate for finishing the specific level, and it feels like reward. So it makes you feel more confident in yourself, and you feel that you're moving forward in your learning.
I agree with you on that. It's really rewarding. For me personally, I like points and progress tracking because it helps me to be motivated during learning. Okay, let's see what people said. Jackie said that she likes certificates. I agree with you on that, Jackie. Okay, next. Next, incorporate feedback. A lot of courses are static. They don't change even something doesn't work. But strong courses constantly improve. And the only way to do that is getting feedback. For example, short surveys after modules, peer feedback during exercises, instructor comments on key assignments, and even anonymous feedback would help. Why it's useful? It helps to identify problems, improve content, and support learners, and to reflect on your mistakes. How important is it for people to get feedback from you? Please take a second to think about it and drop your answer in the chat box. Aisha, what do you think? How important is it for people to get feedback from you specifically?
I think it's very important because even in college, they ask you to give a feedback about professor or about the course after finishing it. And I think it's very important so people would know what this course is and if it was helpful and if the professor is good. What about you, Azhar?
I agree with you on that. I think people care about my opinion and every opinion, which matters because that's how they want to improve their skills and mistakes. Let's see what people said. Feedback helps people know you're listening to their concerns. Uh, I agree with you on that, Jackie. I think it's important to show other people that you listen and you learn from them. Next, flexible classes. Not everyone is at the same level. For example, course I took is captivating communication course. And what I would do for this course is to divide it to 3 levels that are beginner, standard, and advanced. For beginner level, I would put core communication principles, simple frameworks, short video examples, and guided speaking practice. For standard level, for people who already have some experience in this, I would put real life scenarios, presentations, meetings, interactive exercises, personalized feedback. And for advanced level, who already have a lot of experience in this, persuasion and storytelling techniques, live simulations, and providing them networking opportunities. Do you think it's important that courses have different levels? Please drop your answer in the chat box. Aisha, what do you think? Is it important for courses to have different levels, or they should have only one level?
As I mentioned before, when I was learning English, they had different levels that you move from to one to another. And I think it was very important because you can see how you're moving forward and how much effort you put in that moving, and that it's like rewarded afterwards. So you move.
Thank you, Aisha. Now let's talk about reflection. Reflection is important because it helps learners actually process what they learn, not just complete the content. For example, we can ask simple questions like, what did I learn today? And what was challenging? This encourages deeper thinking. We can also connect the material to real life situations, so learners see why it matters. Another effective method is self-rating confidence before and after the lesson, which helps track progress. Peer discussion is also valuable as it allows students to compare perspectives and learn from each other. And finally, even a short written reflection, just a couple of sentences, can reinforce understanding and make the learning more meaningful. How does reflection help to see where I'm at and where I'm going? Please relate to that and drop your answer in the chat box. How does reflection help to see where I'm at and where I'm going? What do you think, Aisha? Do you reflect a lot? Do you ask yourself questions? What did I learn today? What was challenging for me?
Yeah, I ask myself that after having class because I want to know what type of knowledge I gained today. Was it helpful? How can I apply it to myself in real life? What about you, Azhar?
I ask myself every day, what did I learn today? And if I didn't get enough information, I didn't get the point of the class, then I go to my professor and ask for clarifications. Uh, Even it's not about other people, it's just about yourself. Like, what do you think is best for you and what works and what not? The last thing I want to talk about is accessibility. A good course should work for everyone. So we divided it to three types of accessibility: visual accessibility, neurodiversity, and language accessibility. For visuals, I think audio versions of lectures, screen reader compatible materials, high contrast slides, and readable fonts. Neurodiversity, it's for people with disabilities such as autism and ADHD. Option for low stimulation content, no flashing visuals, clear structure, and predictable format. Short, segmented lessons, and language accessibility. It's the most common one. And easiest one. So it's subtitles and sub transcripts for all videos, translations into major languages, simple, clear language, avoid jargon. These things don't just help some learners, they improve the experience for everyone. How many of you felt like something was not accessible to you? Please drop your answer in the chat box. What about you, Aisha? What do you think was not accessible to you and you wish it was different?
When I just came to the United States to study in college, I felt like there wasn't much of accommodation for me as an international student whose first language is not English. And I was taking classes with native speakers, and for them, everything was in their language, and it was easier for them to understand. For me, my vocabulary wasn't as strong, and I had to catch up really quickly because they didn't provide any type of accommodation as translator or something like that. So for me, it was really hard and inconvenient, but I managed to learn quicker. What about you, Azhar?
For me, it's the same thing. I think we both had language barrier when we first came to the US. Let's check the answers. Jackie said language accessibility is very important because I know people who are deaf. Also, I have goddaughter who's autistic, and being conscious of bright lights is important to not disrupt her day. Thank you, Jackie, for your answer. Yeah, I think language accessibility and neurodiversity is really important because we don't think about it every day, but there are some people that struggle more than others. And Kisa, accessibility is so important, but often overlooked at times. I agree with you on that. It's really true. And it's sad, but I think that's what matters. That people, there are some people that care and try to make a difference. Thank you for all your answers. So overall, I want to say improving course is not about adding more content. It's about making it clearer, more engaging, and easier to use. If there is one thing to remember, it's this: a good course doesn't just give information. It helps people understand, apply, and succeed. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your attention. We'd be happy to answer your questions.